Hey, check your time. It's 12:43 p.m. And of course, if you don't know, let me remind you that today is the 15th day in the month of March 2023. And I'm just right here to do my thing again on this super dial. Okay, let me say on these mega dial, or if you don't mind, on this super mega dial 90.3 FM. I call it the best radio station around. Well, today is a beautiful day, and it's West Day. And of course, I want to say welcome to the midweek edition of this super show. You to somewhere around Nigeria. I'm going to be shuffling between Abuja and Enugu. Don't worry, I'll tell you why it's going to be like that today, okay? I've got someone, an amiable Nigerian, with great repute. He is someone who is special to us, just right here at Voice of the People 90.3 FM. Well, I call him a very big man, if you don't mind. He is from Enugu State, Nigeria, and of course, studied in National Open University of Nigeria, and he is, like I said, a big man. Okay, let me let you into a little bit about this man. He was a consultant to the National Human Rights Commission of Nigeria, a member Federal Board of Neuropsychiatric Hospital in Enugu, one-time chairman Finance and General Purpose Committee of the Federal Neuropsychiatric Hospital, National Assembly Service Commission of Nigeria. He was also there between 2007 and 2010, and he was one-time Senior Special Advisor, Senate Committee Chairman on Agriculture, and a whole lot more. A big man. But currently, he is the president of Celox Group, a group that is that has its base in Georgia, United States of America. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm talking about Mr. Oliver Ude. Good to have you join us this beautiful afternoon on VOP FM. Hello, can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you. It's a pleasure.
Yeah, good to have you join us. Where are you currently? Are you in Abuja or you're currently in Enugu State?
I'm currently in Enugu State presently.
Okay. I can understand. But so how is Enugu this afternoon?
Enugu is fantastically very good, warm, the fine. And let me use the word is charged politically, but there's calm and stability.
There's calm and stability. I love that. So let's get talking from that point. How would you explain or describe the current political atmosphere? One, in Enugu, two, in Nigeria.
Thank you for that question, and what again having me. Let me start with Enugu before I get to Nigeria at last.
Okay.
In Enugu, as you know, the current administration, the tenure should be coming to an end by May 29.
Of course.
And as a result, the state advertised CEO that will pioneer the affairs of the country, of the state, for the next 4 years. Sure. And the front has Mr. Mbah of PDP, and one Mr. Eldoga of Labour Party, and Frank Mweke Jr. of
APGA. Yeah.
Yes. These are the three front runners. But There's one interesting thing in this election that stands out. Let me put it this way: what is in the ballot box in this election is about the future of the people. One tremendous thing that on February election, the presidential election, the Nigerian spoke for the first time in the history. It doesn't matter the outcome, but it does matter actually. But for the first time, the Nigerian people spoke. Do you understand? Yeah. And what was the message? Enough is enough. We saw big and might fallen like a pack of cards. That it is no longer business as usual. People are suffering. People have been subjected to servitude for so long time. So people have actually woken up to know that power lies in their hand. And that the minority few that are evil are thriving because the majority good remains silent. So it started with NSAS. From NSAS to Obidient movement to Labour Party. Labour Party to 25th presidential election. So in this very election, one thing Nigerians are looking forward are what? Competence. And not mediocrities. And not someone who will waste their time or life in the next 4 years. So that is where, like in Enugu State, as I said, some people that actually try to hijack the struggle of the people. Can you hear me?
Very well, I can hear you.
There are some people who are actually handling themselves as a obedient movement. They try to hide under the umbrella of Labour Party. Do you understand?
Yeah.
Yesterday, they were in APC, they were in all parties. All of a sudden, at 11th hour, seeing Obidient movement coming up, they pick up a ticket in Labour Party and then begin to present themselves as, oh, we are Labour Party, we are Obidient movement. But the truth of the matter is that that's not true. That's not true. Mr. Peter Obi actually came out on our Rise television to draw people to the fact that Obidient movement is about a change. It's about good governance. It's about competence. It's about accountability.
Okay.
Not about political party. Peter said there could be people who have the competence to drive this nation to the next level. Vote for them. That is his own word. They may not be in Labour Party. Wherever you have competent candidates, vote for them. So not until he made that comment on our Rise election yesterday, people were a bit confused, trying to confuse Labour Party as Obidient. Obidient movement is a movement. It is a movement that goes beyond Peter Obi.
Okay.
It is a movement that started even before the NSAS. NSAS was part of Obidient movement, and Nigerians are tired. Nigerians need a new dawn. Nigerians need a new dawn, home and abroad. Nigerians are being treated as slaves when they have enough to cater for them. People are suffering in the midst of plenty. So that's about Obidient movement. So I just want to take this opportunity to let Nigerians know that you have to vote for competence. Don't vote for political party. So bringing that here in Enugu, the candidate PDP, yes, for since 1999, PDP have governed Enugu states.
Okay.
No doubt about that. Do you understand? But the whole idea is that most of the people parading themselves are people from 1999 PDP political party of Chimano Kennaman or whatever.
Yeah.
Do you understand?
Yeah, of course.
This group of people have held this state bound for a long time. And people are frustrated. You can't see any meaningful infrastructure. You can't see anything for the public funds that were entrusted to them. So that makes the politics of Enugu State quite interesting. So this young man, Peter Mbah, going by his pedigree,
wait, hold on. Can you hear me?
Yes.
It shows that you are supporting Peter Mbah. Am I right?
That's a fact.
Okay.
It's not deniable. But let me give my reason for doing so.
Beautiful. Go ahead. Go ahead, please. Why are you supporting Peter Mbah?
Peter Mbah, for many of us, who actually knows him as a person or who got to know him recently. This is a man that built a business from zero level, just like having about 3 employees in Lagos. He started it today. That business is worth of $1 billion. What am I trying to say? I'm not just saying my own word, but I'm saying KPMG. We all know KPMG, World Accounting Auditing Firm.
Yeah.
To audit a company and sign off the balance sheets of this company to enable that company to access a loan of over $1 billion.
Okay.
From the national community. These are the qualities and the kind of people we need to drive the economy. We must have to run state economy, national economy, like what? A business concern. It's like a venture that you don't want to see fail. We must stop running public institutions as if a charitable organization. That is where we get it wrong. I'm an economist, I'm a businessman, I'm an entrepreneur. That man in the saddle as a president, as a governor, makes my of job. If he's a man that is bereft of ideas on how to drive a system, you are going nowhere. Your future is in his hand. Governor of a state is like a pilot in an airplane. He can crash that plane. He can crash that plane.
Okay.
Governor of a state is like a captain of a ship. He can sink that ship in the sea. You have vested him with the power to make and unman the plane and the life of the people in that plane as a captain, as a pilot. You understand? Of a plane. So what we are trying to say is that actually some of us in the states that never tried to get involved in politics was of the opinion that we can't just continue to allow the microscopic few that meant not so well for the people to continue to feed on the poor, on the treasury, on the common treasury of the people, because that is the problem we have. I think that's what led to Obidient movement. So Mr. Peter Mbah, an accomplished businessman of international repute, do you understand?
Yeah.
He stands a better chance to give the purposeful leadership he desired to move not just the Enugu state, but the economy of the Southeast to a new level. Because the economy, Southeast parade the most entrepreneurs in Africa, in the black race.
Okay.
But the Eastern region, the economy is in shambles. Just because of what? Bad governance at various levels. So that brings me back to, that is the situation in the state. So as a result, people like me and many other technocrats, intellectuals, felt that the only way to change the life of people here, the only way we can continue to shape the narratives, to change the economic fortune of the Southeast, is to get the right persons in terms of finance. And that is where, that's my support for Peter Mbah, not on a personal level, not on anything, but on the basis that such a man who has built a web of over $1 billion, you understand, it's on record. You can Google it, you can research it. Mr. President confirmed it. NNPC confirmed it. So these are not just made-up stories. Those operations can be fact-checked. So to have such a man who has built a wealth, such a magnitude, to preserve the economy of the state of Enugu, who has part-time budget of about 100 billion naira, do you understand?
Okay.
I think that would be a good thing than giving it to someone who actually don't even have a net worth of even 10 million naira or 50 million naira. So
now,
what do you expect? The person will want to enrich himself. So that's my support for Peter Mbah.
Now, Mr. Oliver Ude, hold on. I want to bring in this. Now, I am aware that there are several political bigwigs in your state, Enugu State, right? And now you are looking at Peter Mbah as somebody who alone can deliver. Why do you think so?
Can you come in? Somebody who has done what?
Yeah, I said there are several political bigwigs in your state, in Enugu State. Now, okay, maybe I should rephrase that. What chances do you think Peter Mbah would have, or what chances does he have you know, in the state currently, with all of these other big names in your state?
Okay, can you hear me?
I can hear you. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you. Okay, I got your question. Okay, let me start by addressing the word big political big weight on quotes. Do you understand?
Okay.
You see, we have a system. I think we the people are the problem of ourselves. Do you understand? I think one of the past saying was that in Africa, we make thieves chiefs. The only difference between thieves and chiefs is T and C. So people tend to remove the T and just put C. Thieves become chiefs.
Okay.
So address them as political bigwigs. Ordinarily, these are people that are supposed to be in the prison. These are people that are supposed to be in prison for squandering the wealth of the state. Go and look at their track record, the so-called political bigwigs. Do you understand? Ordinarily, and I think that the people of Enugu State, in fact, before I answer your question about the so-called political bigwigs, one of the things I was trying to work against Peter Mbah was that he had the opportunity of serving in a former government. I don't want to mention them. Okay. So people keep on associating him with that name. Okay. So, but the question I asked, not even asked, but one of the governors, Sullivan Chime, it is on air. I can send it to you.
But you cannot really weigh the fact that he has served in that government.
No, it's not being ruled out. It's not being ruled out.
Okay.
No, I just want to make a point.
Okay.
When the information keep on trending, popular quote, the money of the Enugu State have been stolen. That's what he used to build wells. Only person that could clarify that point is somebody that had been on that seat as a governor. And that was Sullivan Chime, former governor of Enugu State. He made an interesting comment, which is on air. He said, look, that when Chimaroke was the governor of Enugu State between 1999 and 2003, that the revenue of the state, IGR was about 50. The IGR of the state. And that the budget of the state, I think he mentioned what was the budget of the state. That if you put all those monies together, for the 8 years Chimaroke was there, that it is not up to 10% of the net worth of $1 billion of what this man investment. That is the point to note.
Okay.
Second, that Peter Mbah was not in the first tenure. He came only in the second tenure, end of the administration. That was when Chimaroke appointed him as chief of staff. So that he spent only 2 years as a chief of staff in that government. He said that chief of staff have no access to funds. That the approval is between the governor and the accountant general who disposes the money. Do you understand?
No.
That is one point. But the interesting thing he said on that program was that if you combine 8 years of Chimaroke, even his 8 years, even those Peter Mbah did not serve in that government, that the total money put together is not still up to even $500 billion.
Really?
That the money accrued.
Really? Okay.
Not up to $1 billion. So when someone is saying an investment that is worth of $1 billion was a stolen fund, first of all, the money has to exist for you to steal it. That is the point. The economic issue of the so-political big weight. This is the first time I could say that the entire former governors of a state in Nigeria, not just in Enugu, endorsed a candidate. From Jim Wobodo, who is a renowned, a former governor of old Anambra State, comprising of the president of Enugu, the president of Anambra, the president of Enugu, and the president of Ebonyi. Jim Wobodo endorsed him. Said the credibility of this young man is quite outstanding, that we should give him a chance to see if what he did in the private sector, he could do it in the public sector. That is Jim Wobodo. He's a man that everybody acknowledged that he's a father to all, politically. That is one. Even Chimaroke himself, as a matter of fact, Said this man, this young man, that he knows him, that he knows this young man, haven't served with him as a chief of staff, but it's his brilliance as a young man of about 30-something years that made him to make him a chief of staff, because he's quite brilliant.
Okay.
Then, that comes back to Sullivan Chime. Sullivan Chime has been on air in one of the videos, visits, one of the press interview. Sullivan Chime, in his own words, said, if Peter Mbah said that people should stone him on the streets, if Peter Mbah said that, as a matter of fact, why they see Jim Nobodo and himself will see Sullivan Chime as the best governor of Enugu State, he said he doesn't have the credibility, the intellectual capacity this young man Peter Mbah possesses, that he can see that he can tell the people of Enugu State that this man will perform what he did, going by his credibility. That is another thing. Do you understand? Then the current government of Ugwuanyi, fine. We all know the downside of that very government in this state. Do you understand? Even though it's PDP, do you understand? Most people are actually not happy. I mean, I'm not a politician. I say things the way. I personally told him, Mr. Governor, you failed the people. You failed the people. But the good thing is that he himself is endorsing the governor. So when you look at it, all the former governors, starting from the First Republic of Jim Nobodo to the present governor, about 5 former governors endorsed a particular candidate. All former senators, all serving senators endorsed a particular candidate. Interestingly, the Catholic bishop of Enugu Diocese, the entire bishops endorsed this particular candidate.
The entire bishop, you said?
Yes.
The entire bishops, you said?
Exactly. So the clergies, both Anglican, Catholic, the Pentecostals, the traditional rulers, market women, and many more, Bar Association, name it, they all endorse this particular candidate. What does that tell you? You see, this man, one thing that set him aside above every other person is what? His humility, his level of humility. You and I agree that to see an average Igbo man that is worth of $1 billion, when he's moving on the streets, even the stand will be standing up to greet him. But this man, with the depth of his wealth, you hardly hear about him. Do you understand? Yeah. You hardly hear about him. His investment in Lagos State is just next to Dangote Refinery. His platform today is what Dangote Refinery is leveraging on. So what we're saying is, can we hire such a person as chief executive officer of this state to see now, what he can?
I want to bring in something from what you mentioned. You said his investment in Lagos State is actually next to Dangote's refinery, right?
Come again. The line was blocked.
Okay, you said that his investment, all right, in Lagos State is next to Dangote's refinery. You said that, right? Can you hear me?
It's over $1 billion.
$1 billion.
$1 billion investment.
Okay, now that's why there are allegations. Can you hear me very well? There are allegations that he has only worked, under a certain government. I mean, the government of Enugu State, and people are questioning, where did he get this wealth from? How come he is this rich? Where did he get his money? How did he make his money?
Fine. You see, let me put it this way. You understand? One thing we're too good in doing in Africa, let me not repeat in Nigeria, is give us blessings to Satan. That is the problem we have. Nobody goes to question Facebook, Mark Zuckerberg. How did you get this money? Nobody goes, which is just a person young. Nobody goes to question Elon Musk, who just left South Africa and became a U.S. citizen in 2002, to say, oh, how did you get the money to become the world richest man? Let me tell you this. Many of us has the same potentials of Mark Zuckerberg of Facebook. Many of us have the potentials of Elon Musk, just few to mention. Do you understand? What is needed is a conducive environment to showcase those potentials. The only way to answer that question, how did he get the money, just like I mentioned earlier, KPMG, because we know what KPMG stands for. There's no way KPMG, before they could accept your offer to be an auditing firm, to a corporation that want to seek for foreign international finance, international funds to finance a project.
Okay.
They must be sure because of that wealth. Do you understand?
Yeah.
So the track record of how Peter Mbah got the money is best answered by the records at the public disposal. KPMG will be gladly willing to give the record, the balance sheets, the source of the fund of how Peter Mbah got the money. But let me only put it this way. Some of us today, apart from Peter Mbah, are on a trajectory. Are you getting my point?
Yeah, very well.
Doing what Mike Zuckerberg, Warren, what do we call him? The Amazon guy, the guy that owned the Amazon, what's his name again? Jeff Bezos and many more.
Jeff Bezos. Exactly.
This is of ideas. Until we begin to encourage our own, until we begin to believe that we, because we are black skin, doesn't stop us from thinking. So Peter Mbah is a great thinker. He's a great innovator. Do you understand? He brought in ideas. Do you understand? That you see, what is his idea? He brought an idea. He saw the situation in Lagos. He saw the lacuna that people cannot just continue to struggle in Apapa. So how do you decongest Apapa? He came up with the idea. And he presented that idea to an accounting firm that enables to polish it and put it in a perspective that lenders could look at it and finance the project. Today, that man makes a lot of money that all the discharge of the PMS, all the modern vessels that discharges PMS in and out of the country, you understand, and crude, go through his platform. He has a new profile of about $1.5 trillion, a trillion naira every year. Do you understand? Yeah. So I make a net profit of about roughly 100 billion. So when people are, I can go and put totally the budget of Enugu State during the tenure of Chimaroke as a whole, even up to Uguay, it's not up to 1 trillion. It's not. So we just have to, let me put it this way. If this young man is from South Africa, let me not be say from the US or UK, you have seen his name in top magazines, in food magazines and many more. But because he's from Africa, just because he's from Nigeria, just like people will say, oh, how did the innocent get the money to do what he's doing?
Okay.
Talents. Innocent never served in any government. As a matter of fact, Innocent is a friend. Innocent don't even hold school certs. You understand? He doesn't even hold school certs. He's just a common trader that started life. Today, if Innocent is an American, Innocent will be competing with Elon Musk of Tesla. Do you understand? But what do we do? People want to pull Innocent down. If not that, to the glory of God, that's one of the credit I give to a Buhari government. Buhari have to give the idea that government agencies should buy his cars. But before now, people were trying to pull Innocent down. Even the government of Anambra State refused to patronize Innocent. The federal government has to intervene to say no. From road safety to many of the federal government agencies to police must buy Innocent products. Innocent was exporting to Gambia, to African countries, but the Nigeria where he came from, they were all out. You can imagine even EFCC going after him. We just have to stop that attitude. If we must move as a people, if we must progress as a nation, we must give credit to those that deserve credit. We know those that looted the fund of this country. We know where they are. We know them. And we equally know the banks that help them to loot these funds.
Okay.
We know it.
Okay.
So when let me even put it this way, assuming that those that looted the fund of this country are investing it in this economy, I think we would have been better off. Peter Mbah didn't steal the government money of Enugu State. I can tell you that categorically. Peter Mbah is not a stooge to anybody. Like Maroke Namane or Sullivan Uguanyi or Sullivan Chibe or Uguanyi. He's not a stooge of any person. At a certain level, you can refer to a man of such status. So a man of such status as he's going to be a boy. A boy to whom? Rather, those people you are saying that he's going to be a boy, they should be a boy to him. It should be the other way around.
All right. Thank you so much, Mr. Oliver Ode. Please just hold on. This is Voice of the People 90.3 FM. We're streaming live on YouTube. So you can go there and watch us live and, of course, drop a comment, okay? My name is Jude. If it's your first time listening, I'm actually having a very robust conversation with an entrepreneur, an investor, and of course an economic analyst. He is also a barrister. He is maybe I should say barrister now, right? Yeah, I'm having a conversation with barrister Oliver Ode. All right, he is currently in Enugu State right now, and I think our Enugu brothers are all also listening right now, from Lagos. A whole lot of them are joining us, online, and I can see several persons coming on board. Okay, we'll talk about Enugu. We just started, all right. But then a little shift away from the politics around Enugu State. Let me go overboard, all right. But though I will still come back to Enugu. How would you rate INEC? Let's talk about INEC, because INEC is another factor, currently, whether you like it or not. During now the election is almost here. We're talking about Saturday, and everyone is looking at INEC. Everyone has been calling INEC. Some persons, for that, they don't trust INEC any longer. And some persons will tell you, well, let's just wait for the outcome of the election. Are you also of the same opinion?
Yeah, okay. Can you hear me?
Very well, I can hear you.
Let me put it this way. When it comes to INEC, before talking about the present INEC, permit me to talk about the previous INEC led by Jega. You understand?
Jega led
INEC. You see, one thing we don't lack in this country are men and women of credibility. We are not short of it. But what we lack in this country are people who are willing to do what is right by giving those men and women of credibility a chance to prove themselves, rightly or wrongly. And Jonathan, not until he left office, people did not appreciate that man. People didn't appreciate him. But if there is one thing legacy Jonathan left behind, it's about credible election. He failed to influence the outcome of that election. He has the means and the capability to do so. He chooses not to do so. That will always stand on the credit of that man. He appointed Jega and never for one day controlled Jega. He allowed Jega to do what Jega brought in card reader to curtail the excesses of politicians. That worked perfectly. And it was expected that his predecessors, and to tell you about that man's credibility, just conducting that election for 4 years, he decided to leave and said, there are other people that can do this job. I wish we could get Nigerians that will not be power hungry, that once they're in office, they don't want to go. That is one of the major problems. So INEC, led by Jega led INEC, was an INEC everybody acknowledged that was beyond board. Okay. So having started and left, this president INEC led by Mahmoud came on board.
Yakubu.
Yes, Mahmoud Yakubu. It was expected that man should build on the legacies, on the foundation led by Jega. That he promised Nigerians. I'm a lawyer by background, English lawyer for that matter, in England. I understand what it is when a man makes a statement. A man that holds a public office, when he makes a statement, that statement becomes what we call policy statement. You understand? It is meant to be relied upon. But to our greatest dismay, a lot was promised and little was done. A lot was promised. That is the frustration of Nigerians. Because if you want a Nigeria you and I can bank on, in Nigeria the future of our children are guaranteed, we have to start with credible election. When a politician knows that if elected, that he's not going to come back if he doesn't do the right thing, he will be forced to do the right thing. There are two pillars that makes a nation a nation: the rule of law and a credible election. The rule of law. Do you understand? And what? Credible election. When you manipulate those two things, investors never have confidence in that economy.
So you are saying that the previous election was manipulated? In other words, it wasn't free, it wasn't fair, it wasn't credible. Is that what you're saying?
I didn't make such assertion. What I'm saying...
No, I want to get your own opinion, your view.
A lot was promised, and little was delivered. A lot was promised, and little was delivered. And the INEC chairman and the entire management of INEC owes Nigeria a duty to explain what happened, regardless of what is the outcome of the judicial process. Do you understand? Regardless of it. Both the international communities, both the common man, everybody was of the opinion that INEC let people down. They did, in fact. You made a policy statement. When a man in the helm of affairs, a political office holder, even a CEO of a quoted company makes a statement, that is a policy statement that should be relied upon. So for him to make some utterances saying result will be uploaded from the polling unit, that is a policy statement, and people relied on it.
But INEC says it delivered in the 36 states of the Federation, that it did what it ought to do, you know.
You see, we are not inventing technology. We are not here to invent. We are not inventing technology. That's what I will tell people. Neither are we here to modify technology. If you need a broadband or server that can contain African election at a group, it is a question of I'm not an IT person. Do you understand?
Yeah.
So when we are planning, you should know the capacity of, okay, you have 90 million registered voters. Am I right?
Okay.
Okay. That you have say 1,000 polling units. Do you understand? So you are expecting people to from 1,000 local, isn't it, on your server?
Right.
You should expect the capacity of about 10,000, 20,000. Do you understand? So an excuse is that for no reasons people could not upload. Well,
okay.
To the point that different type of results from the polling unit and possibly a manipulated result start flying side by side. It doesn't make sense. It doesn't make sense. You experimented this in Osun State and gave people impression that is you test run it in Osun State and it worked, and possibly in other smaller elections. You know the importance of this election. You don't have to plunge Nigeria into crisis. I'm not saying what Tinubu may have won the election. I'm not saying he didn't win. Stay with me. But you have to make the process to look credible and transparent.
Okay.
That is why you're So that's my point with INEC. Are you with me?
Yeah.
Tinubu may have won the election. I'm not disputing that. But you have to make the process to look what? Credible and transparent. Though, like I said, when you see a nation playing with their judicial system, playing with their electoral system, forget about investments. Nobody's going to invest in that economy. Because when the electoral process is not credible, politicians are not accountable to the people. When the electoral process is not credible, it's not transparent, politicians are not accountable to the people. That is the problem. And I believe Professor Mahmoud Yega, I don't know whether he's a professor of political science or whatever. Are you with me? I mean, what is going to measure his president? When electoral process is not credible, politicians are not accountable to the people. He's not accountable to the people. Power lies with the people, not with the elected officers. So when people can manipulate their way to public office, credibility is eroded, confidence is eroded. So I think as a professor of political science, he need to give some. In fact, he need to explain to himself some certain circumstances that led to starting with himself.
Yeah, several Nigerians, have been calling for the dismissal of Professor Mahmoud Yakubu, as the INEC chairman following the outcome of the election. Do you think he should actually be dismissed, or do you think, some other things can be done to make sure we have a very credible election, even with Mahmoud Yakubu as the person heading the INEC?
Yes, presently you can't remove the INEC chairman. That would be wrong. That would be a wrong thing to do at the moment. Do you understand? You don't begin to remove a referee of the match. You allow him to complete the process of the match. Maybe where maybe Brazil and England are playing football match, because the referee started giving red card indiscriminately. That's not the reason why just the FIFA say remove that referee. No, you allow him to finish what he's doing. Do you understand me? And possibly hold him accountable. You understand? To explain the circumstances that gave rise to that. So calling for the removal of Mahmoud Yega at this point,
Mahmoud Yakubu,
that is not Mahmoud. That will not be the interest of the nation on the electoral. You understand? So nobody's going to remove. But just like one of the electoral umpire then of Maurice Yu, I mean, he still goes with the bad reputation of having conducted the worst electoral election in Nigeria, having to over the worst electoral process in Nigeria. So if Mahmoud Yega want to have Mahmoud Yakubu want to have such attached to his name, it's up to him. Do you understand? But frankly speaking, I know that President Muhammadu Buhari, you may have your reservations about him. People may have reservations about him, but I can tell you that Buhari will never tell Mahmoud Yakubu to do what he did. He didn't. So the problem we normally have is with Mr. President, a sitting president, are you with me? To weigh the outcome of election. But in this context, this is the first time we're having a sitting president is not contesting for election. He said, go and do the right thing. So Mr. President never presided over a process to manipulate this election for anybody. He never did. He did not do that. Even in Katsina, APC almost lost Katsina. He never did that. So the whole Mahmoud, Professor Mahmoud, all the money demanded from European Union, from an international agency, budgetary allocations, everything was given to you. You never complained that you lack the fund.
Now there are two political parties in court challenging the outcome of that same presidential election. All right. My question is, do you actually foresee any of these parties, coming out victorious? Whether is it the People's Democratic Party or the Labour Party now? Do you foresee any of them, coming out victorious?
Let me put it this way. We are called a developing nation, but I don't think we are even developing in the first instance. Let me use that word. You understand? We are here to be part of developing nation. Like I said earlier, the moment you manipulate two things in every society, that society is dead on arrival. The electoral process and the rule of law. We have seen, I'm a lawyer by background. we have seen the kind of judgment that is coming from Supreme Court. That is so shameful and condemnable. A very good example is the judgment in Imo State.
Okay.
There's no rationale basis. There's no rationale. There's no basis of making Hope Uzodinma a governor. You can call for fresh election. But to say that the man in a race, the man that came at fourth position is now the winner. Do you understand? I mean, it looks so absurd. That is one. To say that the Supreme Court will admit an evidence that was not presented in a trial court. Do you understand?
Yeah.
It's a cardinal of law. I'm talking as a lawyer now. It's a cardinal principle of law that facts that are not pleaded at the trial court go to no issue in law.
Okay.
Not pleaded. When you did not plead the facts before a court is not a Father Christmas to assume that a fact exists. Facts that are not pleaded goes to no issue in law. It's a cardinal principle of law. So to say that Supreme Court, who ought to be the last hope of common man, should admit evidence of a result that was not submitted in the tribunal, or that was not admitted in the tribunal, up to the Court of Appeal level, you admit it in Supreme Court to pronounce a judgment. That is absurd. That is absurd. So even if for any reason such a fact exists, as the Court of Final Decision, you have a reason to believe there was a miscarriage of justice. What you needed to do is to, what you call, trial de novo. You refer that matter back. You have, as the court say, try this fact, try this case again. So let those evidence be presented, and the other party will have a right, I will need to cross-check the authenticity and genuine those evidence. That was not done. So on what basis did you admit those evidence, those extra result? What do we call it? Results. On what basis? You admitted it, and that's the basis of declaring the fourth person the winner. My people say that when judgment is against the weight of evidence, something must have gone underground. When judgment is against the weight of evidence, something must have gone under the ground. So taking that into the current situation, even the present case of Lawan, that gave Lawan ticket to run as a senator, including Akpabio, it is worrisome. You understand?
Yeah.
Such judgment. So when you begin to see those kind of judgments, well, it is from Thursday evening that you know whether Friday will be Good Friday.
Okay.
You understand? If on Thursday evening there's no plan for Friday, Friday can be Good Friday.
Okay.
It's from Thursday evening that you will know
all right,
whether Friday will be.
Barrister Oliver Ude. Now, let's see. Let's talk about. Let's move away from that. We'll come back to the issue of the governorship election in Enugu State, right? But then let's talk about Peter Obi as a person. You know, there is this Peter Obi phenomenon in run up to governorship election currently in Lagos. You know, there is now this special importance attached to the Igbos in Lagos, whether anyone likes it or not, because I've been monitoring from every side, all corners of Lagos, you know, and for now, you know, that we can see an Igbo man is important in the Lagos politics as it stands. Now, I just want to get your own opinion, feel your pulse as regards the P2B phenomenon or the Igbo phenomenon in the Lagos politics, current day life.
That's quite interesting. Lagos is quite
current day Lagos, Nigeria.
Yes, Lagos is becoming an interesting place politically and otherwise. You see, let me put it this way. Again, in law, that's what we call covenant in law. Benefit goes with the burden. In covenant, you don't take benefit and leave the burden. You understand? If you inherit, if your father have a covenant with a particular family, so whatever that is the benefit accruing to him, you inherit it. So, and when you inherit it, you inherit with the burden. So the development, the economic development in Lagos is phenomenal. And the phenomena and the contributions largely are by Igbos. Their contribution in development of Lagos state economy cannot be underestimated. And at the high time, the actors in Lagos begin to understand that, the better. When you see Lagos today, the population of Lagos is more like a metropolitan city. There are people from all backgrounds.
Yeah,
are there.
That's what it is.
We have the Yorubas, who are the original inhabitants. We have the Igbos, who are the second ethnic minority, the second ethnic group in Lagos. After Yorubas, we have the Hausas. We have the Niger Deltans, Edo, Rivers.
Yeah, okay.
You know, we have foreigners, Ghana, Togo, in name them. So the white people name it. So we understand the cosmopolitan nature of Lagos. So when any person is aspiring to be the chief executive officer of Lagos State, I mean the governor of the Lagos State, he must take account this cosmopolitan nature of the city to know that the economy of Lagos State, that these various groups has interest to protect in Lagos State. And the earlier you reach out to them, you dialogue with them, you get to know about their concern. I think that's what makes you a good leader or a potential leader.
Okay.
But if you can just undermine such a particular group and hold on to a microscopic few, because whether I like it or not today, the population of the Yorubas in Lagos has shrinked. Let me put it this way. It was unthinkable in about 30 years ago or 40 years ago that a Muslim from Pakistan would be a mayor in the city of London. But that is what it is today. It was unthinkable that 20 years ago or 30 years ago that an Indian in the name of the current prime minister in the UK would be a prime minister in the UK.
Okay.
So the demography is changing. So I think this is high time actors in Lagos begin to appreciate that when you try to sideline the Igbos, you stand a chance to lose. And that's what reflected in 2019 election, in fact 2015 election, 2019 election, 2023 election. It's not something you can address by making. When I hear Oba of Lagos threatening that some people will end up in the lagoon, whether he can come to Enugu to decide on who will be a governor, that sounds such a statement sounds someone that actually don't know the dynamic going on presently in Lagos. So, be that as it may, I think the current governor of Lagos State is a man I have so much respect for. I've been to dialogue with the Igbo in Lagos.
Okay.
The presidential election that was just concluded, the voting pattern is going to be different this time because the Igbos were voting PDP. So today, PDP is not on the ballot. you understand? So what you're likely to see is a voter apathy on the side of the Igbos, except they have a reason to vote, which I felt that the governor of Lagos State may have been reaching out to them to say, look, we just have to work together. So any person trying to undermine the strength of the Igbos' votes in Lagos, I think the person must be doing a grievous mistake.
All right. Thank you so very much, Barrister. Let's go on a very short break, a very, very short break. And when we come back, we'll return to Enugu State, where you are currently. Okay?
Thank you.
All right.
Okay.
This is Voice of the People, 90.3 FM. Just stay there. We'll be back shortly. My name is Jude. I'll be right back.
Some call it life adjustments, but our world has taken a different but dangerous look.
My husband does not just beat me up, but he uses an object to forcefully remove my finger right before my eyes.
Jesus, help me. The God of heaven. Oh, God, go to my rescue.
With happenings that are alien to the human race.
I was in prison for 39 years for a crime I did not commit.
Since I clocked the age of 9, I have always been raped by my father, and now I am 18, and I still battle with him.
Unthinkable, unimaginable, and very unfriendly acts have been recorded in every sphere of human existence. Join Jude, Ikame Jude, on Matters, weekdays, 12:15 to 3 p.m. on VOP 90.3 FM. As he dissects and addresses these challenges called the new norm in our political, social, religious, and cultural space. But then, are you comfortable with this new norm? Be part of this conversation, because your opinion matters.
Every day strike, ASU strike, market women strike, even Kule people they strike. We don't become country of strikers.
Even light self, we no fit give us. Don't run from motor. Even leg self, we get accident.
Why una dey complain? Why una dey complain? No una dey collect bribe, dey vote Sokoloko Bango ṣe.
Ìṣèjọba tó dára, òun là ń béèrè.
Anyị chọrọ ọchịchị onye kwuru uche ya. Anyị achọrọghị ọchịchị nchigbu.
Ala ndeze teme ka muna so mekio.
Wetin we want na make dem rule us well.
Don't take it for noise. It's the people's voice. They have made their choice. Respect that voice for all to rejoice. VOP 90.3, Voice of the People.
Every day strike, ASU strike, market women strike, even Kule people they strike. We don't become country of strikers.
Even light self, we no fit give us. Don't run from motor. Even leg self, we get accident.
Why una dey complain? Why una dey complain? No una dey collect bribe, dey vote Sokoloko Bango ṣe.
Ìṣèjọba tó dára, òun là ń béèrè.
Anyị chọrọ ọchịchị onye kwuru uche ya. Anyị achọrọghị ọchịchị nchigbu.
Ala ndeze teme ka muna so mekio.
Wetin we want na make dem rule us well.
Don't take it for noise. It's the people's voice. They have made their choice. Respect that voice for all to to rejoice. VOP 90.3, Voice of the People.
Every day strike, ASU strike, market women strike, even Kule people they strike. We don't become control strikers.
Even light self, you know, if you give up. Don't run from motor. Even leg self, you get accident.
Why una dey complain? Why una dey complain? No una dey collect bribe, dey vote Sokoloko Bango ṣe.
ìṣèjọba tó dára òun là ń béèrè.
anyị chọrọ ọchịchị onye kwuru uche ya anyị achọrọzi ọchịchị nchigbu.
ala ndeze teme ka muna so n'ekio.
Wetin we want na make dem rule us well.
Don't take it for noise. It's the people's voice. They have made their choice. Respect that voice for all to rejoice. VOP 90.3, Voice of the People.
Oh yeah, Voice of the People 90.3 FM. Welcome back. My name is Jude, Ikami Jude, and I'm having a very great one. I mean, a very robust conversation, like I would always call it, with a lawyer, an entrepreneur, and of course an investor and an economic analyst. He is Barrister Oliver Ude. It's just right there in the city of Enugu, Nigeria. All right. Welcome back, sir. Can you hear me?
Loud and clear.
Okay. Welcome back. Now let's talk about Enugu State. There are several questions I would love to put across to you, but then let me ask you. You know, to be very, very sincere with me on this particular question, right? I want you to be very, very sincere with me. Will you accept the outcome of the election if your candidate fails? If your candidate didn't win the election?
Thanks for the question. Issue in fairness,
let's be candid now. Let's be candid now, okay? Let's be very candid now.
No, we are.
Okay.
Issue of him not winning doesn't arise. But be that as it may, he's a man with a great accomplishment. Do you understand?
Okay.
He has a job. Do you understand?
I love your level of. I so love your level of confidence.
Oh yes, he has a job. He's coming from somewhere. He's not a traditional politician. You understand? As a matter of fact, you may not know that. If I must tell you, if he knew that this going to be all this kind of we want you, we don't want you, he may not even be interested in doing this. Okay. But his passion was driven by the fact that, look, we just have to help the Enugu State economy, and by extension the Southeast economy. We just have to develop Southeast economy. That is a driving factor. So, issue of him not winning doesn't arise, but power belongs to God.
Okay.
You understand? If say, oh, he's going to be, I can tell that he's the last person that will try to fight anybody. He has a job. He's not short of means of livelihood. Do you understand? He's not a traditional politician. So, and that's my kind of a person that, as a matter of fact, when he started this, like, why do you want to go and do that? Do you really need it? Do you understand? It's just like Tony Lumelu today wanting to be governor of a Delta state. Do you understand? If the people of Delta, if the people of Delta say no, I'm not short of means of livelihood. I'm not short of something doing. So Peter Mbah is not short of something doing. That's a fact. That's a fact. But I can tell you that the people of the state will revolt. There will be massive revolution in the state if he's not elected. There will be revolution.
Really?
The revolution. Do you understand? From the clergies to the youths to market women and market men and women, there will be revolution.
Okay.
This is the point. There will be revolution if it's not there. So I think that goes to answer your question on that.
But do you think that is the best way to go about it? If there is a revolution, do you strongly think that's the best way to go about it?
Now, what I mean by revolution,
of course, you remember during during the last presidential election, you remember where a candidate said, if you're not satisfied with the outcome of the election, then go to court. In fact, it's the reigning word now. Everyone is saying it. Go to court. Go to court.
Let me clarify the point before I'm quoted out of context.
Okay.
I'm not saying that Peter Mbah is going to call for protest or revolution. No. I've said it, that Peter Mbah has a job. He will quietly move on. He will quietly move on. Do you understand? He offered to serve the people, to give the people hope. If the people genuinely say no, if you apply for a job and you are rejected, what do? You just have to take your things and leave. And that's what he's going to do. But I'm telling you that people will be like, how? How come he did not win? What happened?
Okay.
People will ask questions. So I believe that clarified the point of when I said, look, both market women, everybody will like, what happened? People will ask questions. Because people believe that this is a man that could give not just Enugu State, but Southeast a hope. This is a man that could. So nobody's interested in fighting anybody or what. So long as the process is credible, there's nothing to worry about whether he will win. He's the governor.
I want to find out the relationship between the Obidient movement and PDP in Enugu State currently. Tell us about that.
Yeah, let me put it this way. Comrade Kennedy, who is the founding person of the leader of Obidient movement, was in Enugu yesterday with all their groups and all that to endorse Peter Mbah. And that was after Peter Obi himself was on Arise television to say Obidient movement is about competence. Obidient movement is about good governance. That no one should make mistake of going to vote on certain individuals that are hiding under the Labour Party as Obidient movement. The Obidient movement is not about party. It's about what? Credibility, competency, and the candidates. And those candidates could be found in other parties, in his own word, in Peter Obi word. Vote for them. Because that would have been a very big anomaly on the part of Peter Obi to say, oh, once you're in Labour Party, it is Obidient movement. Do you understand? That would have been a... You see, Obidient movement, even though he came out as a presidential candidate, will now tag it after his name, Obi. Do you understand? Obi, Obidient.
Sure.
The struggle
sure.
goes beyond him. The struggle started before him and it will continue. It started before he expressed interest to run for political office. The struggle started even before the NSAS. NSAS, pervaded the struggle. That people are tired. People want good governance. People want all these traditional politicians. Please step aside. Please step aside. Let's see how we can, for once, begin to rebuild this country for the good of all. So Peter Obi emergence was like a rallying point. People say, okay, this is the face we can work with. But it doesn't now mean that every criminals hiding under the Labour Party, people now begin, some criminals, they were in PDP, they're in APC. They were among the people that have had people bondage for the last 8 years or 10 years. They just go and collect a ticket in Labour Party and begin to say, I'm obedient. Vote me. Peter Obi said, vote for me. P2B said no. He never said that. Vote credibility. So P2B came out openly and refused to endorse the Labour Party candidate, Edoga. He refused to endorse him. And how did Edoga respond? He was trading on air. He started calling him bastard. He said, who were P2B when he was in, that he started, he was elected in 1991. So since 1991, he has been in politics. That's all he does for his life. Somebody that was born in 1991 today is in, that's like how many, 1991 to 2023. Like that,
quite young.
The Labour Party candidate. Do you understand me?
Yes.
So I started saying, P2B, when he was first elected in 1991, where were P2B? That P2B have not even gotten into politics. Do you understand? So he has been making all kind of utterances that goes to show his real nature. That these guys were just hiding under the umbrella of Labour Party. Do you understand me? To see if they can pull wool on the faces of the people.
All right.
And P2B, because that would have gone a long way to damage his credibility. Do you understand? If he didn't come out to say, listen to me, don't in my name vote for some candidate in Labour Party and said, I, P2B, and you have to look at the credibility of those candidates. You have to look at the competency, whether they can deliver. And it was on that the so-called Labour candidate of a Labour Party here begin to abuse P2B. They start calling him bastard. I think Nigerians will forgive that man for his inefficiencies, but he will not easily be forgiven for calling P2B a bastard. He will not easily be forgiven for calling P2B a bastard. Do you understand?
Yeah.
Simply because he failed to endorse you because he's not sure of who you are. Just like many others. And he came out on air and have the impetus and audacity and the effrontery, a bastard. Do you understand?
Yeah.
To demean the image of that. I think it is something to be worried about.
Okay. Mr. Oliver, you may have to put on your camera if you don't mind.
Okay.
Yeah. Can't see you.
Okay, he's back.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. There is a question that I've been... There is something that I've been longing to, put out to the Igbos, those from the Southeast. Can you hear me?
Yes.
And I want to try as much as possible to, ask this question in the best way I can. The Southeast has got several entrepreneurs. They are everywhere in this country and they are doing pretty well. Now, but the economy of the Southeast, the general economy of the Southeast, is not cannot be measured with the level of or the number of entrepreneurs that we have in the Southeast. What is the reason?
Thank you for that question. One, the problem is not far-fetched, and that's what people like Peter Mbah is trying to address. One is that the so-called politicians on the Southeast have created instability, insecurity in the Southeast. They created it. It was not so before. Prior to 1999, we don't have the kind of crimes and criminality going on in the Southeast, kidnapping, killing, assassinations, and all that. We don't have that prior to 1999. But from 1999 to date, these guys have created a kind of insecurity that scares people from coming to the Southeast. Even the Igbos themselves. You can't see an Igbo man living in Lagos coming down to the Southeast. You can't see an Igbo man living in Abuja coming to the Southeast. You can't see an Igbo man in America, in US, in London, Japan, name them, coming to the Southeast because of insecurity. That is the problem. Number one. Number two, these guys called so-called politicians in the South. They don't have any other thing doing other than to be feeding on the treasury, on the Commonwealth. There's no reasonable infrastructure going on in the Southeast.
Why?
So these are some of the things.
The question is why? Because see, for a person like me, I want to believe that, you see, we should have Lagos and River State combined in the Southeast, like doing really well, doing really good.
Let me tell you this, and you can take it home, and any person can hold me on this. 1 year, or let me not make it to look 2 years into the administration of P2B, Mbah, 2 years into the administration, you will see British Airways, Lufthansa, KLM, all the major airlines landing in Enugu. You will see it happen. You understand? What does that connote? What does that translate to? It will open up the Southeast economy. Southeast Enugu airports, the proximity of Enugu to Benue, to Kogi, to Cross River, surrounded to Delta. Apart from the 5 states in the Southeast, you add Kogi, 6, Benue, 7, Cross River, 8, Bayelsa, 9, even Port Harcourt, name them. Edo, almost 10 states. Let me just limit it, even including Niger. All those states will make use of Enugu International Airport as a major cargo hub.
Okay.
As a cargo hub. So when you see that in Enugu State, the government of Enugu State and Anambra combined, we have to come together to create a rail line between Enugu and what? Onitsha. Enugu and Aba. Whether federal government does it or not, you can give those rail lines on concession. People will do that. People will raise fund and build that rail line because there will be a lot of commercial activities moving in that direction. That is the kind of leadership we need in Enugu State. That is the kind of leadership we need in Igbo land. You're going to see an entrepreneur whose vision is to see how we can attract investment in, and not how to share the commonwealth of the people to themselves. That's what we want to see happening in Enugu State, and by extension, the entire Southeast. So what is going to happen in Enugu State will be a model for other states in Nigeria, and by extension, Africa to emulate. We're working with some international donors, Rockefeller Foundation, Ford Foundation, and many more. Many funds out there in terms of education, in terms of health, in terms of water, and name it. A very good example, World Bank, past government in Enugu State took a loan of almost about $500 million or more from World Bank to provide water in Enugu metropolis. They laid the pipe, but nobody has even a bucket of. I can assure you, 1 year into this administration, you will see that water from the World Bank water, which has been abandoned for years. It will come on stream. It will come on board. The state have no business in running the water system. These are the things we give on concession. Investors will build it and collect their tools. If you need water, fine, you pay for it. Because the money you're paying to go to buy water from tankers and all that in a month, it is 100 times than what you pay to have a water tap on right on your bedroom. So this is about innovations. This is about great thinking. This is about ideas. It is possible. So what it requires to have the right persons that have the right knowledge, the capability, and the network to get it happen. So that's what we're going to see happening in Enugu State. So the economy of Southeast is in shambles, not because we don't have the people, but we have bad leaders in the Southeast who's with parochial interests.
Okay.
It's all about what they can. That's the narrative we want to change. We want to stop it. That's why we call all the men and women of Enugu State indigenous and the people that live in Enugu State to support this noble idea. Vote for Peter Mbah on Saturday, so that there will be a new life in the Southeast. It's not building roads. You're like, when we went on campaign, we are just discussing with people. We say, building roads, building water. Those things are not a thing any person that say, I'm the chief executive of the state will be boasting himself, I did. Those things are basics. Those things are basic that has to be there. Your scorecard should be that you move the economy from social stage to social stage. Not saying that you build roads, not saying that you build schools. You are not building them with your fund. Those things are built with the state fund. Taxpayer money. So you can't be taking credit that you did it. Otherwise, the opposite, that you did not do it, should be that you should be in jail. You should be in prison. It's embezzlement of the fund meant for that. So one of the greatest things you're going to see happen in Enugu State under the leadership of Peter Mbah is a purposeful leadership, a leadership that is oriented, a leadership that goes beyond. Because we can't just continue the way we are. In Enugu, and cannot just continue. It cannot just. So you are going to see a totally different thing. All this issue of insecurity and all, just because people don't have job. If people have something doing, they wake up in the morning and go to their different work. In Enugu State, we have a population, a market that is not being managed. And what is it? Enugu State in the southeast, if not in Nigeria, is one of the states that parades itself with highest number of public institutions, university and colleges of education. Do you understand? But what do you get? When you go from the top and see how people come from different states to study, immediately on graduation, they all leave because there's no job here.
Okay.
Listen, we need to create a viable economy, commercially driven, that will enable people on graduation, the Enugu State, that will create a population explosion in Enugu in the next 4 years. There's a population explosion. And when you see that population, because market is driven by population, why do US companies go to China or India? Because of the population. Because of the population. So these are some of the things we're going to be addressing in terms of the economy. There's so many ways we're going to harness a lot of things to make a change, to see the economy of Southeast, starting from Enugu, to be a model for that we look at. That's my opinion on.
Okay. Now, very soon I'll get to open up the studio line so we can get people's opinion on this. Okay. Especially, like I said, those from Enugu. Yeah. I think it's time for you to pick a governor who's going to govern the activities of that state in the next 8 years. Right? Whether you like it or not. Mr. Oliver. Yeah. Can you put on your camera again, please? All right. Whether you like it or not, someone must pilot the affairs of that state, for the next, 8 years. Don't forget, we're streaming live on YouTube. You can go there and watch us live. Okay. VOP 90.3 FM on YouTube, okay? VOP 90.3 FM on YouTube. Or you can go type it in full. Voice of the People 90.3 FM, on YouTube. We're talking about Enugu State politics. Enugu State, governorship election that'll be coming up on Saturday. It's actually, a great one. It's a heavy one. But then, I would also love to, touch on, the manifesto. Are you there, Mr. Oliver? Hello? Hello, Mr. Oliver, are you there? Oh, Okay, I think we should get back to him as quickly as possible. This is Voice of the People 90.3 FM. Don't worry, very shortly I will get to open up the studio line so you can join in the conversation. All right, stay there. My name is Jude Ikami Jude. All right, let's see if we have Mr. Oliver back on now. Mr. Oliver, are you there? Hello? Hello? Okay. All right. VOP 90.3 FM. Just trying to see how best we could quickly connect with him. Mr. Oliver? Oh, okay. All right. 0700 903 903 903. All right. That's the number to call. 0700 903 903 903. And of course, our WhatsApp portal is also open for you to send in your messages. Yeah. Then the WhatsApp number is 0700 903 9039. Again, 0700 903 9039. This is VOP 90.3 FM. Oh yeah. Are you there now? Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you now.
All right. I have just been able to open up the studio lines for those who want to also call in to do so. All right. But then I want to actually touch on the fact that let me see that again. Youths in Enugu State, at the weekend endorsed the governorship candidate of the People's Democratic Party (PDP) in the state, Mr. Peter Mbah, for the election. Now, the youth who said that Mbah's manifesto, had given them more than they wanted for the state, vowed to come out in their numbers to give him the needed votes for victory in the polls. They stressed that Mbah's manifesto, which covered education, health, agriculture, social infrastructure, youth empowerment, among others, would take Enugu State to greater heights if well implemented. Hence, the appeal to the people to give him their votes. Did you hear what I read?
Yes. Okay. Is the message coming in from?
Yeah. Do you have a copy of the manifesto? How different is I mean, we have several manifestos. At least I've been able to, touch on a few actually from some of the candidates in your state, other party candidates in your state, and why is his own what do we call that now? His own manifesto. What do you think his manifesto is quite different? What is different in Mbah's manifesto? Hello.
Okay.
I said, what is different?
I'm here.
What is different in his manifesto? What's unique about his manifesto? I'm talking about Mbah. Hello.
Okay. Yes, I can hear you. Can you hear me?
All right. Go ahead.
Okay.
Please.
But I think I can't see you on the video anymore. Maybe you pause your video.
Oh no, I can see.
But that's okay if you.
I can see you.
Okay. You can see me. That's fine. The most important thing is that You see, just like I said, Peter Mbah is coming from a different background. You understand? A business background. Forget that he had opportunity to just come into the government for a short period at the request of the government then. But Peter Mbah sees things from a businessman perspective. How can he turn around the system? That informs the reason why you see that his manifesto.
Can you see me now?
I can't see it.
Okay, just go ahead. Go ahead.
His manifesto is actually to a layman. Okay, I can see you now.
All right.
To a layman, the manifesto might look so unachievable. But the truth of the matter is that Peter Mbah agenda for it is something that people will be happy with. Let me start with the youth empowerment program. You see, Peter Mbah and I agree that look, the only way you can give people life is not just to give them skills or train them skill acquisition, all that position knowledge to deceive people. But you have to create entrepreneurs. Skill acquisition is different from creating entrepreneurs.
Okay.
Peter Mbah is an entrepreneur. Just like my humble self, I'm an entrepreneur. I train people to be successful. I train people. I say, look, I mentor people to become successful. Let me put it this way. One of the problems we have in a society, in our society, is the conventional education. People go to universities, get certificates, come out looking for a job that is not created, that doesn't exist. Someone has to create those jobs. And who have to create those jobs? You, the students. You understand? So we're going to change some of the university curriculums. Do you understand?
Yeah.
We're going to create training institutions to train entrepreneurs, to train people on how to do things for themselves. We just have to. As a matter of fact, at some point I had interest in setting up a university, which became one of the order of the day in Nigeria, people setting up universities. And when I hired about 6-7 professors to develop the curriculum, what did they do? They went and just get some of the ones at the National University Commission, some of the ones we use there, just dust it up, they have soft copy, and just name. And when they came to do presentation, after the presentation, in fact, the first 10 minutes of the presentation, I have to shut the man down. Say, hey, excuse me, please. I said, Professor, maybe you may have been lecturing for like how long? He said, up to 20 years. I said, these 20 years you have been lecturing, how many of your students have gone out there to become successful as a result of what you lectured them?
Okay.
He said, that's not what university is all about. And to train people in university to become successful. I start laughing. So I said, so what are you doing then? The whole essence should be not just to give them certificates, you have to train them, you have to educate them, you have to impact skills on them. On graduation, even if they graduate, they don't need a university degree. You're like Mark Zuckerberg, you're like Bill Gates, you're like Charles Branson. Are you there?
Yeah.
They didn't university degree to be successful. So we need to start. So I told the man that the name of the university I gave you people to work on, the name, he said United. I said, so what do you mean by United? The University of Innovative Technology. Do you understand me? And administration. University of Innovative what? Technology and administration. That word, innovative technology. That's University of Innovative Technology and Administration. So that's what I want people to learn. I want to train entrepreneurs in university. I want to train entrepreneurs. For you to get a certificate from that university to say you have graduated. From the day you are entering that school, you always sign that is not that the school do not owe you a duty to give you what? A certificate, a degree certificate, if you don't merit it. Because you have to merit it. And what do you mean by meriting it? Your first year and second year is just to give you the rudiments, basics. From your third year, we expect to attach you to businesses to look things that come up here. But before you graduate in this school, you must be able to, let me put it this way, you may have worked as an apprentice, isn't it?
Mm-hmm.
You must be able to say, before, in fact, I have been able to develop business and I'm worth over 100 million. That is this we're going to use to graduate you and give you certificates that you have graduated. If you can't, we're going to ask you out.
Okay.
That we're not looking for populations. We're not looking for quantity, we're looking for quality. We want to, so what am I trying to say? We're going to see government of Mbah, which I'm going to be part of. Do you understand me? Training entrepreneurs, mentoring entrepreneurs. A very good example of what I'm talking about is what like Tony Lumelu is doing. Do you understand?
Oh, very well.
You see, when you train 1,000 entrepreneurs, if you pick up 1,000 youths in Enugu State and train them to be entrepreneurs, if just 100, let me say even 50, are successful, the economy of Southeast will not remain the same. You get that?
Yeah.
That means 50 Tony Lumelus, 50 Dango, 50 Peter Mbahs. The economy will catch fire. So we have so many programs designed, you understand, to give people life. So we can just continue the idea of, everybody comes here and get they understand education and that's all. It's not going to continue.
Okay. Voice of the People 90.3 FM. Well, it's time to hear your own opinion, your voice on this. Enugu State, Nigeria is where we're focusing on today. 0700 903 903 903 0700 903 903 903. And like I said, we're streaming live on YouTube. You can go there and watch us live, and of course do drop a comment. And for some of us who've been who's just coming in, who's just listening to us, maybe for the very, very first time, I am having a discussion with Barrister Oliver Ude. All right, and 0700 903 903 903. Hello, good afternoon to you. All right, if you want to call, please endeavor to at least move away from your radio set. All right, do move away from your radio set so we can hear each other. Or you might use the alternative one, that's the WhatsApp portal. The number is 0700 903 9039. Okay, that's the number, 0700 903 9039. Just a couple of information here. The Obidient movement has resolved to throw its support behind the governorship candidate of the People's Democratic Party PDP in Enugu State, Mr. Peter Mbah, in the March the 18th election, directing all its members in the state to come out en masse to vote for him. All right, let's get to the phone lines now. Good afternoon to you.
Hello, good afternoon.
Good afternoon to you. What's your name and your location?
Yeah, this is Victor calling from Lagos.
Peter from Lagos.
Victor calling from Lagos.
All right, go ahead, please. Can you hear the caller, Mr. Yeah. Hello? Mr.
Yeah,
Oliver?
I hear you.
Can you hear the caller?
Yes, I'm here.
Can you hear the caller?
Yes.
I can hear him.
Okay, just hold on. Please continue. Go ahead, please, caller.
Okay, yeah, I had the artist talking about Enugu State. So, and for me, the worst calamity that can fall on the state is to vote PDP. Because PDP has been in it for more than 16 years now, and they have not achieved anything so far. So the only way to liberate themselves is to vote that PDP out. The present governor now, according to people, because from Enugu state too, so according to people, they is just the only thing he's doing is to grab people's land. So he cannot even have not done anything in Enugu state so far. So the only thing is to vote those people out. The person is talking as a Peter Mbah is in the same local government with me. So, but I wish they could vote them out because both in federal level and the state level, PDP has been a appointed party so far. So I wish they vote them out this time around. Thank you.
All right. Thank you so much. Thank you. You want to react to that?
Yes. If well, he was talking about that the present government, and the present government have done nothing. If I'm right.
Yeah, go ahead, please. Go ahead.
Is that the question?
Go ahead.
Yes. You see, yes, I agree with what the gentleman just said now. You see, what to be and the government in Enugu State, it's not just in PDP. The same old people moving from PDP now wanting to move to Labour. Jameson, they are the same. Obidient movement about a change. Obidient movement about transparency and accountability. Obidient movement is about people attacking. So when the man is
Mr. Oliver, don't you think it's somehow to have, a presidential candidate of a certain political party not supporting, the governorship candidate of that same party in another state? Don't you think it's somehow?
No, yeah, that's what I'm saying. You see, people are no longer voting about the issue of party side. Do you understand? If we look at political, all the where all the people like all but now PDP. Do you understand?
Like I'm saying, Peter will be not supporting the Delga. Hello?
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
What Nigerians are looking at that can do the work. That is the statement of Peter. You understand? Recently, on our right, there are competent people. Don't look at the party. Look at TV. So the young man there, yes, Peter Mbah is on the umbrella. You understand? But it's from what PDP. What we are talking about the competency and the character of the party. Just want the young man to understand that. Ask for people to give Peter Mbah.
Having some network issues right now.
Not in any political party. I think, but the constitution doesn't allow that.
Okay.
Do you understand? Peter Obi, who is of in Nigeria Obidient movement, connotes a change.
All right. Hold on, please. I think we're having a little bit of network issues, right? I really can't hear you smoothly. Okay, but then I'm trying to see how possible we can get to reconnect and make it a little bit stronger. All right, so we can have a better conversation. Yeah.
Okay, good.
VOP 90.3 FM. We've got a caller here. Hello, good afternoon to you. Hello, good afternoon.
I'm Ejike. I'm calling from South Africa, Dublin.
Oh, welcome, Ejike. Good afternoon to you.
Good afternoon. Barrister, good day.
Hello, Barrister, are you there?
You be there?
Hello?
Okay, I know he's listening. I'm from Enugu State, precisely Udi. You know, the politics in Nigeria, people are taking everything now to Obi movement. I know Peter Mbah, like a little I've done from him, is a man of character. Good and fine. When Solid and Chimbe were there, I think he had a very good.
Hello?
But Enugu State was so balanced because hello, can you hear me?
Okay, yeah.
Yeah. When Sullivan Chime was there,
yes, I'm here.
The government of Enugu State. Immediately the current governor came in, everything got spoiled. Everything got spoiled for like 8 years now. His parents are trying to tell us that Mr. Mbah will be the different from the present government of Enugu State, or that are we going to still sink down from the recent government we're having in Enugu State? We Nigerians, we don't need much from these politicians. They always come once in a while and promise us heaven and earth. Hello?
Yes, we can hear you.
All we want from these politicians in Nigeria, please, can you just give us a good route? Hospital, education, we will do the rest. But right now, the young man can say whatever and whatever. Maybe next 4 years, we'll be thinking that just like the government. You hardly pay the workers, you hold the arrears, no good roads, whatever Sullivan Chime did 8 years ago is being getting. I don't know where this man came from. And this is the worst time Enugu State have ever gotten such a worst governor. Enugu State is one of the states in Nigeria that always have a good governance. So is he promising us when Mbah comes in? I know he's a man of character, but you can't bet on these politicians. You can't bet them. You understand? Is he promising us? I heard him saying a lot of things. Are you guys going to give us a good road? Hospital? That's basic amenities. That's what we ask from you guys, please. Thank you.
All right. Thank you so much for calling. Yeah. He called from South Africa, actually. Please, you might want to respond to his question.
You can hear me?
Yes, I can hear you. Go ahead.
Okay. What he said, but the people are not expectation of people are not, but those things, and that is what gave impact to. And, people are frustrated. People are frustrated. Look at what those things are not asking for. Apart from that, on top of that, the resource taxpayers fund and outside taxpayers really do not European Union. You state, name them below. For the level of corruption, stealing, embezzle has made it that. So, on board.
All right, Mr. Oliver, are you there?
Yes, I'm in.
Okay. All right, let's take more calls now. 0700 903 903 903. We hope the network will be favorable this time around. 0700 903 903 903 is the number to call to be part of this conversation. All right. Hello, good afternoon to you. Good afternoon. Hello. Oh, we lost our call. Please do well to call back. It's still the same number, 0700 903 903 903. I'm trying to see if I can access this particular message sent by a listener. But then let's do this one first. Good afternoon to you. Good afternoon.
Hello, good afternoon. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
Mr. Godwin, Canyon is on the line.
Mr. Godwin, welcome.
Yeah, I'm sorry to tell you this. We Africans, the Europeans, they look at us, they say we're it. We don't coordinate ourselves. You see, educated people, someone who is educated, they behave like fools. Because even the scientists tested that the black man mentality is like madmen.
Oh, network issues. I think he called from Holland, actually. He's having serious network issues there. Hello? Okay, 0700 903 903 903. Good afternoon to you. Can you move away from your radio set?
Hello, good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Yeah, my name is Mr. Sunday. I'm calling you from Suizere.
Okay.
What I want to...
Hello? Are you there? Oh my God, network. Okay. This person is saying, he's sending a message. He said that he is Idowu Mbah, right? Am I right with that name? He said, you know what makes me get mad at we Nigerians? We are not good people. 89% of Nigerians are corrupt. There is no savior for now. Are you sure? Okay. Let me just take you by your words this afternoon. Hello, good afternoon to you. Yeah, good afternoon.
I just tuned in and I know I was yes. So I have been in the studio because I just went out. I came back now. The question I want to ask: yeah, politics is something that is so sometimes you don't understand politics. That's what it is. If somebody from PDP is talking about Labour Party today, that's the way it goes. That's the way it goes. Now, I know he's talking about people. From little I know about any state, I mean, there are things that we like motor plants, maybe to get the message assembly, quota, all the positive. So I know that after the creation of Anambra State, that collapse in the state. So we don't hear much about productivity. Now I try to listen, but I don't know if he earlier talked about productivity in the line of building industry. Understand? Industries encourage doing industrialization. Something I don't know if I've spoken about, because I think my business sometime in 1963. He was invited to at the triangle Navy. So where people were donating for one thing, but they called him. Somebody was trying to expect him to donate $1 billion in those days. But he told them, look, my people, you are doing very well. I do all kind of doctors, president home. But you that's what you spend. You can set up a house, and that is why.
Hello. Oh, I think you have to call back. Your network wasn't that clear. Sorry about that. Please do call back. Good afternoon to you.
Hello?
Move away from your radio set, I beg you.
All right. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you now.
Yeah, this is Mr. Brown calling from Lagos.
All right.
Yeah, I think most of our political leaders, when they come to talk to us, they have good manifestos. But when they got into power, it's different ball game all around. You see, we don't know whether there is a force or a power in that office that changes their mind from doing what they promised us before we voted for them. Because looking at all the governors, when they came to campaign to us, we came with a good mind, good words, promise us every kind of thing. But when they got to that seat, what is the result? It's a different thing. So what we are asking, can they fulfill what they promised us and rebuild back the hope of Nigeria? Thank you very much.
I appreciate that. I appreciate that. 0700 903 903 903. Let me also touch on this message quickly. He said, while appreciating all that is being said about Barrister Uday's preference as a candidate in the forthcoming gubernatorial election, would the people in the government, what are you trying to say? These same politicians just speak so negative of be willing to support the plans and projects of his candidate. Private sector has its own business environment, which is very different from what is obtained in the public sector with all the bureaucracies and hidden agenda. There are many who will be out to sabotage his plans for the state. What advice would you give to Peter Mbah with these in mind? From Mrs. Moji. Did you hear that? There are so many persons are on ground to sabotage his effort. They are ready to do that. You know what you have to say.
Yeah. Let me put it this way. Independent mind. That's the starting point. And that being said, Mbah will not be influenced by Peter Mbah will not be influenced by his, and you're like him in his business. So we're coming to the government with a clear mission of what he wants to do for the people of Enugu State, and by extension, the South. So one thing I want people to know is that today people are talking of P2B. Tomorrow will be Peter Mbah.
Okay.
Today people are talking of P2B. But I can tell you, I'm going to come back on this same station. Peter Mbah, not just the governor of Enugu State, but a governor that president is European Union will and give him an award as a governor. You understand? So I want people to take mind from that part. Let me just tell you something you need to know. Our mission is good politics. Do you understand? Our mission in Enugu State about saying that Nelson Mandela
All right, it's Voice of the People, 90.3 FM. So sorry about that. We're having like a serious network issues right here. Don't forget, he is in Enugu State as we speak. But then let's see if we can connect here. Can you hear me?
Yes, I think it's better here.
It's better here. Are you sure?
Yeah, it's better now. More clear.
Okay.
This will be better in video.
All right. Please go ahead.
So, yes, as I'm saying, the agenda we have in Enugu State, let me say, Enugu State goes beyond. It is beyond politics. It is way beyond politics. I want you people to take note of this. What is going to happen in Enugu State is going to be a game changer, not just in Nigeria, but Africa. We're going to use Enugu State as a pilot case.
Okay.
That it is possible to develop Africa.
All right. Okay.
And Peter, governor of Enugu State, you will see Enugu State under the leadership of Peter Mbah partnering with multinationals. As I have said earlier, from Rockefeller Foundation to Ford Foundation to Bill Gates and Melinda Foundation to so many foundations in the US that want to help Africa. So Enugu State may be the pioneer state to show that a crop of new leaders in Africa.
Okay.
That is the vision. Our vision goes beyond, I want to be called the governor of the state.
Okay.
That's one thing I want people to know. But be that as it may, I can understand people's perception. For a very long time, politicians of opposition have come to say all manner of
Barrister, kindly hold on.
But I can
Someone,
tell you that
hold on, please. Hold on, please. Someone wants to talk to you. Good afternoon. Good afternoon to you.
What I did network. Yeah, you know, like what I was trying to say is that Ojuku himself advised him about industry. Before we knew it, you know, with having kind of industry we have today, which is really taking care of it. Now, we have to ask our brother, is there anything governor has said that has to industry, I mean, making in the UK?
Oh my God. Your network is so very crazy. Good afternoon to you.
Hello.
Hi, good afternoon. Quickly, please. What's your name?
My name is Clement.
Hello?
Hello.